It looks like we're live. The little thing in the middle of the screen just told me we're live, so good. I'll give it a minute, half a minute, just to let everybody sort of log on and come say hello. But yeah, I just thought I'd go live and just talk about what we do on these photography retreats, because quite a few people have asked me. Not that there are many places left at the moment, but I just thought I'd come on and do that. So this is being streamed to a number of places. We've extended the way this streams now. So it's going to the YouTube channel. So if you're watching there, hello. It's going to both the private Facebook groups, so Beyond the Lens Academy members group, as well as the Full Frame Club. So if you're in there watching, welcome. And then the two open Facebook groups, so my Carl Thomas photography one, which is the doggy page, and Beyond the Lens Academy, which is also an open Facebook page. So that's where it's all going. So you'll be watching. I wonder if I can tell. Oh, I can tell. Oh, that's quite clever. I've just found a feature I didn't even know existed. I can tell who's watching where. I don't know who you are, but I can see. So what I was going to say, let me put in the comments the website address, because all the information about these, the two main trips at the moment, which is Mull. There is one place on Mull, kind of, so it's pretty much done. But if anybody's interested in that, let me know. And then obviously the November one, which we've had a huge response to, which is great. So let me put this on Beyond. One says I'll get a typo. Beyond the Lens Academy.com. That looks correct. I press the button and it should be doing it to all the different places. It looks like it is. Ooh, not everywhere, but most places. Anyway, so there should be a link popped up now. If there isn't, it's beyondthelensacademy.com. Not hard. So yeah, these photography treats. So just give you a flavour of a couple of ones. Show a couple of pictures to remind you. So on the website, the first one, which is it's got one place left. It was full, but then somebody now can't make it, unfortunately. Is Mull. Let me find my pictures. I've moved them all around again. I must stop doing that. Mull. Right, here we go. So this is what I was saying on the Isle of Mull. It is beautiful. This is the house we got. It's dining room. That's staircase. You know, outstanding accommodation. And the one we're doing in November. This one. And this is kind of the Highlands, north east of the Cairngorms, right on the edge of the Cairngorms. So a beautiful location. You know, I can't wait to get that log burner lit. I love the idea of a round log burner. It looks amazing. If anybody's got any questions about these whilst I'm here, do ask me. If not, you want to drop me a message separately, please do. I'm more than happy to answer that in the comments, or drop it in the comments, or just drop me a message. So the format is, we call them photography retreats. We used to call them workshops, but that sounded a little bit intense. So we call them retreats now, because frankly, they are. And so let me just take you through kind of some of the parts of it. So day one then, what happens? The main thing is getting there. So obviously, if you go on the website, you'll see the costs and all the food and everything's included. And I'll come on to that in a minute. But you just got to get yourself there. Alan runs these with me. So Alan Ward, he's a very well-known videographer and photographer. And so between us, we tend to sort of go out in the cars and take people around. So, you know, you can use your own vehicles, and sometimes we need that as well. But generally speaking, getting there is all you need to do. And so on the first day, and it varies on the start days vary. Sometimes they're Friday, sometimes they're Saturday. It all depends on the kind of accommodation we get. So the day one is literally just about arriving there. We can't normally get into the accommodation until sort of mid-afternoon anyway. So what I always say to people is, look, just try and get there for sort of dinner time, because it can be quite a long trip. I mean, over to Mull, there's a little bit of a ferry crossing and then a bit of a drive. And then, of course, you've got to get up to Oban, which is quite a way up. And then on the one in November, which is in the Highlands, Aviemore, Cairngorms area, you know, that's half a day, 3/4 a day to get up there as well. So day one is just about getting there. And when you get there, we'll all say hello, as we do, because we're all quite friendly people. Sort out all the rooms, and so you can sort of unpack and get yourself settled down. We usually have a bit of a drinks reception, an arrival reception, which occasionally goes a bit nuts, but we always get the old bubbly out and soft drinks for those who don't drink, and some nibbles just to sort of break the ice, and, you know, people can kick back and relax. And then we get dinner on. So the food on these things is of a high standard. You may have seen some of the clips on some of the Facebook groups. You know, we'll have a proper roast dinner on the Sunday typically, and, you know, I might do a ribeye steak during the week and stuff like that. There's plenty of stuff for vegetarians as well, or vegans. We do fish, all sorts. So it's really nice quality food. So we'll have some dinner on the first night. And it's really all about getting to know each other on the first evening. And then what we typically do, Alan and I, is we just talk about where we are. So there'll be a little bit of a discussion about, right, we're in Mull, or we're in near the Cairngorms, wherever it might be, and what kind of things to think about. A bit of a health and safety briefing as well, because that's really important. So we cover all that as well. But, you know, the kind of things that the island, or in which case the Highlands is known for, why we've picked the spot, the kind of things we might be doing during the course of the week in terms of wildlife we might be seeing, landscapes we might want to do, and so on. And during that process, all very relaxed. It's not like a big presentation. We're normally all sat around with a drink or something and chilling. But it's also important for us to get an understanding of what it is that you would like to try and get from the retreat. Now, for some people, it's just getting away from the hubbub of work and the way life is at the moment and just chilling out with a bunch of like-minded people with their camera. Bringing partners is totally fine. So some people have brought partners, which is fine, not a problem at all. In fact, it's quite common because it is kind of like a retreat stroke holiday. And so getting an understanding of what people are looking to learn. And then what we normally do is we kind of plan it. We always have a plan in our mind in terms of what we're going to be doing for the week, or sometimes we're there for 2 weeks in these places. But of course, it's weather dependent. And so what we'll do that evening, say, right, tomorrow, for example, let's say we're in Mull, we're hoping to go out and we might be going to go do the Sea Eagles. Now, that's quite a special one. So that's a little boat trip, normally. So this is the kind of things to think about. This is the kind of stuff to wear. These are the kind of settings you might think. And then we'll probably have a little conversation about the kind of settings that you would need to think about to take those kind of photographs. It might be that we're going to go out and do some landscapes. And so it'll be like, well, you need your tripod, and we'll talk about that. And so there's lots of ongoing support during the week, during the day, and during the evenings. But it's not intense workshops. That's the thing that we wanted to sort of clarify, really, because a few people had asked about that. There's very sort of relaxed learning, and the feedback we've got from the people that have been on these trips. And let me tell you, I'm not sure if anybody's in the Full Frame Club or the Beyond Landscape, or anybody who's watching this who's been on any of these trips, stick a comment in. You'll get to know that people have been on one, and then they've been on the next one, the next one, the next one. They tend to come back. That's partly the reason they sell out so quick, because then we booked up before I even announced them, in fairness, sometimes. So it's a very relaxed way of learning. And, you know, for example, editing is a big part of photography these days. So most evenings, people get back and they're quite keen to download their images onto their computers and laptops or whatever they brought with them. And there'll be people sat around quiet, having a drink while we're getting dinner going and doing a bit of editing. And I might go over and say, oh, maybe try this, maybe try that. Sometimes we do a bit of an evening where I'll say, right, I'm going to take you through the editing process for this, or I might take you through the specific settings or something in a slightly more formal way. But it's a very relaxed sort of approach. And the kind of stuff that we do on a daily basis, I mean, you know, if we're going to be doing, let me show you some pictures from one of the recent trips. Where did we go? We went to Islay last year. So this is just some examples of, these are client photos, not mine, client photos. So some landscapes, nice black and white composition with some sheep there, and beautiful long exposures. Marie Douglas, look. Marie's, that was in Ireland. Marie's coming to Mull with us. It was brilliant. So yeah, long exposures. This was a shot of a white-tailed eagle with a bit of dinner when we were in Islay. There we go. Here's a shot. Actually, I think this is one of mine. It is, of a rather magnificent looking stag when we did the Highlands. So we're hoping to do that, something similar to that again in November. One of the things that we're hoping to do in Mull is see these little monkeys. This is not my photo, by the way, just to be clear. I've got this one from a special site where you pay a license fee to download it, because I haven't got any decent shots of otters, and that's something I'm looking to do. So there's a flavour of some of the things we do. What else have I got on there? Let's have a look at the top here. So one of the things you might do when we're up near Aviemore is get around to a place called Channery Point and maybe do some of these. We might be doing some of that. Long exposures, very popular. You know, birds. See if we can go and see some salmon rising and jumping. There's just, you know, as you can imagine, I'm not sure we're going to be any seeing those. Oh, we will probably see them on Mull. Yeah, we will. There you go. So this, you know, that's just flicking through some of the images. That gives you a flavour of the kind of things that we do. And it's not an intense thing. You do not need to be an advanced wildlife photographer with all the gear at all. So coming on to the next thing that people ask me, it's like, what level do I need to be at? It's like, you just need to have a camera and like photography, but that's it. You know, we've had people who've come along on these retreats with their camera in its box. They've just got it and they're quite keen to start learning how to do it. And what better way to do it? Because we've got people there, not just Alan and I, but everybody else is a photographer, so they'll all help. Let's have a look. Mr. Williams came to Islay with us. And that shot of eagle I put up with a prey was one of Andrew's, who was a bit avid. So in between the midges, because there was a lot of midges there at that time. But yeah, no, welcome, Andrew. Good to hear from you. So yeah, it's open to all levels. You know, we've got some people that come on this, you know, they absolutely love it. And it's their sort of annual trip, or trips now, because we do so many of them, with, you know, some pretty nice equipment. But you don't need to have expensive equipment. It's just about enjoying the time and having the time to have hands-on, and you will find you'll learn more about photography and wildlife and landscapes and long exposures, all the things that you will do with your camera on a trip like this than you will do in weeks of training. So it's very, very good. Now, I've talked about editing. We know we cover that in some detail. So that's a good way of learning because we're doing that. And there's nothing more relaxing than editing images with somebody helping you that you've taken during the course of the day, whether it's eagles or Andrew shot just now or whatever it might be. So amazing fun. The other thing that we do is we always have a bit of a fun competition, not heavy. So everybody puts one image in at the end of the week and we have a competition, and I get a frame printed, or we normally do a little what do you call, like a little shield or stuff like that. But it's not heavy, sort of intense things. It's just a bit of a laugh, but it just, it's quite nice. People enjoy that. And then the other thing, really, I just wanted to say is that there is sort of one-to-one time. So sometimes I was with people because I'm out with all of the people that come along each day with Alan, and we typically have 5, 8 people, those sort of numbers. So it's not a lot of people. Which allows, I might have a couple people in my car. Alan might have a couple of 3 in his. It varies around. Some people also, want to have a day where they say, do you know what? After a couple of days, we find this. People, once they've sussed out where everything is, go, actually, I'm just going off with so and so today. That Andrew Williams, who's watching, and a chap called Danny Blacker were on the Isla trip, and those guys were nuts. They were getting up at 3 in the morning on a couple of days and doing their own thing. Brilliant. So that's all part of it. It's all very relaxed. But there is time, the point I was going to make, there is time for sort of one-to-one support and help. So there's something very specific, like, for example, you've got a new camera, you need to get the settings right, then I can sit down with you, or Alan can sit down with you, and just go through and get it all right, and sort of spend a bit of time with you on each of the days and to help and support. So kind of, that's it, really. I mean, it's not going to be a long one. I'm checking on my notes here. No, it's all covered, isn't it? In terms of the pictures, let's go through some of the pictures. So the locations again, then. So the one in Mull, which is there's 2 weeks, we're there for 2 weeks in July, and there's space on the first week. I think it's Thursday July. It's on the website. And the Mull location, I mean, we've got this. That's the main property. Alan and I, we're slumming it in the beautiful little cottage next door. It is amazing. Right on the lock there. Absolutely beautiful. And if we don't see otters there, I'd be amazed. What's Alan saying here? Who's this? It was good fun, Andrew. It was a great time. And of course, being in Scotland, we did do a few visits to whiskey distilleries. So we had a couple of them as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just a beautiful place. So I can't, I've not done Mull myself personally. Alan's done that a lot, so he knows where all the otters and things are, but just beautiful. So we've got all that, all very private. And as you can see from these pictures, it is quite a special place inside. There is actually one, I forgot actually. There is one coming up in a week and a half time. 23rd of April, we're going up to the Mac Loop. And that picture there was Jim Connolly on the other side of the Cadra Idris, as it was called. And that's Alan, Rob, Richard, and me on the other side. And that's his shot there. And there's mine from the other side of a jet coming through. So we're doing that. If anybody fancies that, there's a few of us going on that one. It's not a big one. I think it's three or four in total. So if anybody fancies that, we've got that one as well. And then the November trip, this is it. I think I know I showed you the pictures before, but I will show you them again. So we've got this. It's in 20 acres of, what do they call it? The Caledonian Forest, I think then. Beautiful. All on its own, a very high standard, and so there will be a lot of wildlife around the actual place itself. You can see there, like a little barbecue, so I'm not sure we do any barbecues that time of year. But yeah, 2 amazing places. They get filled up. I think that one has got 5 beds, and I think I had 2 when I put the post up the other day. I think 2 people have booked up. So yeah, it'll be gone. They always sell out pretty much. Well, we've never done one that's not sold out. So I mean, previous ones we did. I don't know if I got one here. We did the winter trip. I think I've taken the photos down now. We stayed. I think I have, yeah, because there's only so many photos you can put on this thing before it doesn't like it. That was one I did. That was at Isla. This is stuff we do in Scotland as well. Not great crested tit, Schedule 1 bird, very rare. Salmon leaping. Have I got any of this Scotland? That was a trip from. That was a shot from Isla as well. It's a really funny shot. That. In fact, I think that won. Stuff we often get in the Highlands. It's all there. There's a nice deer there. Look. It's just magical, absolutely magical. No, I haven't got the thought I was thinking about, but yeah, you'll have seen the previous trips. We did the winter. We haven't got a winter one scheduled yet, so we'll see. We're kind of focusing on getting these done. So July in Mull, if you fancy it, there is one space. Well, it's a room. So if you want to bring your partner, it's basically a room free at the moment on the first week. and the Highlands Stoke Cairngorm Super, as I'm calling it, in this place here, is end of November, and there are three places left. So they'll be gone. They always do. But anyway, the purpose of this was not to tell you all about that. It was really just to say this is how it works, and just give you a flavour of what goes on. So yes, you can bring partners. No, you don't need to be the most expensive, most advanced photographer in the world. We cater for all dietary requirements because that's important. But we cover all the food, and we put a little bit of wine out most evenings. But if you've got a particular favourite tipple, bring it along, because we do have a tipple of an evening, because it's a retreat. We like to relax. And we have good fun. So when we did Isla, for example, we had a little trip over to Jura, and that was just amazing. And we cover all that. So there'll be a trip over probably to Iona or Trench Isles, wherever it is. When we get to Mull, you can go on the side on a little boat. Beautiful, absolutely breathtaking. So some people look at this as just a holiday. If you want to come along and you just, and you've got your camera, but actually you just want to spend a bit of time away and maybe take a few photos on one of the days, you can do that as well. So there you go. Look, I'm going to leave you in peace because I'm conscious it's getting late in the day. No, just put that up again. Look. Brilliant. Be nice to have you on another one, Andrew. Must catch up and spoken to you for a while. I'll drop you a message, mate. So yeah, have a great afternoon, great evening. Any questions, drop me a message. If you want to grab one of those places, get it sorted sooner rather than later because they will be gone. And thanks for listening. See you later. Bye.